Now, a more advanced way to go about it, because sometimes it's helpful to seek higher wisdom about what we should be praying for. And we have a faculty that helps us have insight or gain insight into what we could pray. It's called the Buddhi, Buddhi, and it's a way of connecting with your soul, connecting with your inner self. And to know your Buddhi takes practice. It's just wonderful also. And here's how you know and experience your Buddhi. It takes practice. It might take you a few days. You say, I don't know, maybe a few months. Well, would it be worth it? Yes, it would. It took a few months, but it's usually a few days. First, you practice just looking at the room, noticing it without commentary. Don't react to what you see, just witness it. You witness the people in the room. Just witness what's going on. Here we are. But we're not saying, oh, I should have worn that color tonight. Or does he always wear white socks? All right, so you just practice observing until you're looking at the room and everybody here without making commentary. You're not saying, oh, I like that color, or oh, I haven't seen you for weeks, or I haven't seen you for years. Free of commentary. You just get so you can witness without commentary. When you can do that, you close your eyes and you witness your thoughts and feelings without commentary. And we want to make a lot of commentaries. They're all kinds, and we remember things. There's all kinds of stuff going on inside. That's why we start with outside. We're witnessing without commenting on it, without mental commentary. We're just witnessing. We're a witness. Eyes open. Then we close our eyes, and we have to get that skill of witnessing the play of the mind and the emotions or anything else in there. We just witness it without thinking about it, without holding on to it, without worrying about it, without resisting it. I don't want to be thinking about that. No, you just witness it, whatever it is. When you can do that, you'll sense yourself as distinct from your mind. Here I am, distinct from my mind, witnessing the play of my mind. And as you get good at just witnessing what's going on, very often then the thoughts and the feelings just calm way down. This place that you're at, where you're witnessing, you often begin to have a sense of goodwill or happiness in there. It's not just a passive thing. As you get this kind of freedom to witness your mind without swimming and being lost in it, you have a sense of goodwill, and you have a sense you're witnessing, that you are the witness, you are not this person who's having all these thoughts. You are the thing we call you is the witness. You're just happily witnessing. When you can do that, again, you're on the way to experiencing being and higher consciousness. When you get to this place that witnesses the mind, you often get an insight about anything you would like. You get an intuition or insight as you witness the mind, not being lost in the mind, just watching what it does, watching its play, and then its calmness. You could take a question in there, like, what should I pray for this person? Or what should I work on for this country? What is the right thing for me to be focused on regarding this situation? Or what can we do to better prepare for XYZ? It doesn't mean you'll be right all the time. It means you will have a higher awareness of it that may be extremely helpful. I don't want you to think you go there and get crazy information. You don't get crazy information there, but your subconscious does burp up crazy information. So you got to stay positive, witnessing clearly, stay focused on the witness. Otherwise you get, I've always wanted a horse, or my brother never loved me. Oh, really? I am the new leader of the XYZ movement? I knew all kinds of mystics who showed up thinking they were the reincarnated head of the order, and it was their turn to take over. And they thought so. But they were nuts. The subconscious can just do funny things too, you know? You can get crazy ideas too. I guess I should say that. Generally, if you just practice the witness consciousness, you'll get profound, beautiful insights about anything you want to have an insight about. Just beautiful insight. So you got to get there by cultivating this witness until you have a state of goodwill, and then you can bring into mind whatever you'd like to understand better. Like, what should I pray about this? What kind of thing should I do about this situation? And then you just stay in the witness, and you'll get a beautiful insight with practice. And that insight will really help the situation along. It's just a beautiful, higher level understanding. We have a higher consciousness. And this buddhi that we're talking about, this goodwill witness, helps you to see things way better with insight. Make better choices. You could use this consciousness to again and again make better choices in your life, or have better understandings. Be a person of wisdom instead of impulsiveness, say. We'll now do a practice to help us better understand how to deal with transformation regarding certain people or situations. What should I do? Like very often the question, what should I do here? You go to your buddhi, very often you'll know, here's what you should do. I've taught this for years and years, so most of you know it, but the idea is, can you do it? If you can do it, you go to your buddhi anytime you want. You get an insight about something, anytime. So can you do it? So first, just to review the steps, we look around the room and just observe without comment. And when you're able to do that, observing everything like a witness, we're just witnessing. We're not here to write an opinion paper. We're just witnessing. We're observing, and we're relaxing our minds from having to do anything. We're just witness. We don't have to say, oh, that's this, and this is this, and that's that. No. And so you would keep doing this at home this week as you practice until there is no commentary. You're just witnessing. But now we're going to move to the next step. You now close your eyes, even if you're not ready yet, but just to get the practice down. And you do the same witness with what's going on inside you. You just witness it without commentary, without worry, without any shenanigans. You're just witnessing what's going on inside, especially the thoughts. You're not holding on to them. You're just witnessing them as they come and go. Same thing with emotions, same thing with memories. Just witnessing that until, hopefully, you're just aware of you're different from your mind. You are the witness of your mind. You're not the mind. You are witnessing the whole mind. You're distinct from your whole mind. Witnessing. And perhaps some goodwill comes in. There's a pleasant feeling of goodwill, perhaps. It's there when you get there. And let's say that you were just a pure witness, no commentary going on. Then you could bring to mind something that you wanted to know, like, what should I do now? Or what is the right thing to pray here? Or how can I better understand what's going on? You could just bring a question in and let it go and just witness. And very often an insight will occur to your consciousness. So, in a nice, clear witness mode, goodwill, perhaps you're looking at the troubled place in your mind, just striving to understand it better. What is going on here? What's happening here? So you could picture a person or a country or a neighborhood and ask, what's happening here? Or what should I say about this? What should I pray about this? What should I know about this? Just whatever you'd like to ask. And then let go of that and just be still and clear. Very likely you will get an intuition that will help you know what to do, what to pray or what to do. So give yourself a chance now. Try it. Getting your first intuition or insight takes a while because you're going beyond the mind and yet you're working with the mind. It's right there at the borderline between the mind and the buddhi. Once you get one down, it gets easier and easier. So the next thing you would do is just take this insight into what we just did. We're going to take this insight now and use it to pray or to affirm something that would help the situation or the person. So once you get the insight, then you proceed to take it into this mode where you offer it to your partner, the infinite consciousness. So if you have an insight, or if you want to just pretend you have an insight and just use your common sense to think of one, just take that insight and then offer it up and go into this beautiful place of being. You just say it or think it or picture it and return into a state of just being. It helps you to connect with the infinite. The infinite has a chance to operate through you. So you take your insight from this witness and then you use it to focus on an improvement, and that's the principle. And after you focus on that, you go back into this awareness of simply being. That's a way of letting go of it and letting it happen. Go ahead. And let it go. Bring your awareness back here. So, when you don't know what to pray, or when you don't know what's going on in your own life, you want to understand it better, go to your buddhi. Just witness the world for a minute or two. Witness the mind till it calms down. Abide in the witness, and then think of the particular problem briefly, succinctly. Go back into the witness, and you'll very likely get a powerful, wonderful insight. Did anybody get an insight during this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 6, 7. Good. 8. All right. So it takes practice. But there it is, a way of accessing higher consciousness at will. So it's worth working for, even though you have to be doggedly determined and try every day and don't get discouraged. Give yourself a chance. This buddhi is one of the greatest allies we've got. Okay. Is anybody unclear about the process? First one is the simple one. The second one is when you want more information with which to deal with the problem or the person or the situation. Yoga says people have karmas. There's a cause and effect thing going on. And people learn through what happens to them various important life lessons. That's true. But you can also, out of compassion, pray for anybody and ask that the spirit move and express their karma will still manifest and teach, but it might be at a much less painful level. And that could be called their karma too, if somebody tries to intervene and help. So the idea is just do your loving part, and if they're supposed to have some karma and you can't, be an instrument of improvement, if you can't, you won't. But usually, we're just all in need of a kind word and a loving hand, and usually, again and again, you see transformation. Okay, well, that's how to do it anyway. I thought I'd read some of your cards. What I'm doing with these cards is I'm praying for you to have a transformation in the area you wrote down. And I go through the cards and I pray for you and ask that you have this transformation that you felt important enough to write down. So I'd just like to comment on a few of them here and make some suggestions. I'd like to get closer to God, become more enlightened. Well, ascend into this place of being, abide in this being place, and then bring that awareness down into your daily life. And if you could do it every day, that'd be very, very helpful. So as you ascend in consciousness to this place of being, you get free of, a real bother or a real scoundrel. It's called your ego. We have a false sense of self, which gets in the way of just about everything. We don't know our true self. We don't know our soul, our true nature in the view of yoga and in the view of everybody who's practiced yoga in depth for a while. We have this false sense of self, which is trying to run things, which is trying to preserve us, which is doing an agenda that is very often busy, but it usually keeps us in a state of ignorance. So as you go into being and just are aware of being, you are free of this sense of I. You're able to sense your true nature when you experience this clear sense of being. So you transcend your ego, then you'll, of course, get closer to God and become more enlightened. When you transcend your ego and are able to live in your soul, you're considered to be enlightened. You've discovered your true self instead of being dictated to by a tyrannical ego. Okay. I want to find peace, joy, and bliss. They're all inside you. All you have to do is ascend. Go into this higher level of awareness of being. And as you gently come down from this beautiful, clear being, you'll have peace. And then as you keep having peace, energy starts to move inside your body. You begin to have bliss. And then bliss is so intoxicating, you don't want anything else. And you just love to sit in bliss all day. And you think, I've made it. And you read some books that say, you made it. You got bliss. And then some yogi comes along and says, no, you got to go for ananda. You got to go beyond the bliss. Go beyond the bliss. You say, oh, shucks. And then you go beyond the bliss. The bliss becomes more dynamic and called joy. How do I move? I'd like to move forward in a life in a positive direction. Well, do yoga. Practice yoga and read the various great scriptures of the world. Scriptures are very inspiring. So you can move forward in a life in a positive direction by practicing yoga. I recommend that highly. And read the scriptures every day. Scriptures of your choice. Bhagavad Gita is very great too. It's a great yogic thing. But your Bible can just be enlightening forever. Just read it all your life. It's enlightening forever. Next card, I'm just making comments here that might be helpful. I'd like to transform doubts into faith and spiritual attunement. Do the very things we're doing here tonight. Practice being. And the more you practice being, the more you'll begin to have spiritual awareness and spiritual experiences. Transform anxiety into serenity. Well, what you got is a fearer. Our ego is a fearer. It's in us all the time, and it's afraid all the time. or is angry all the time. It has various wonderful characteristics. Anger, fear, guilt, grief, arrogance, prejudice. So your problem is the fearer is too active. So you got to trade your fearer with your beautiful soul, your core being. As you sense being, you begin to discover there's something within you which is eternal, pure, painless. Your ego hurts all the time, but your soul is never hurt. By definition, in terms of yoga experience, now other people define soul differently, but it doesn't die, and it's pure, and it's painless. It's called your true self. And this fearer, as you begin to experience this marvelous core being, it just falls away. I don't have to spend all my time fearing. You get free of your fearer. I would just try it and see. Tolerance, I would like tolerance between different kinds of people. If I have time, I'll show you tonight. If I don't have time, I'll show you next week. I recommend the pink cloud technique, so that'll help. Just how can you help people get along better? There are some wonderful things you can do. Caring for the world, for the environment, and for all living things, plants, animals, wild, domestic. Go into being every day. There's a beautiful state I'm going to talk about next called Mahat. If you can do Buddhi well, then you get to go into a higher thing called Mahat, and I'll tell you about that. Feel that you're a partner with Spirit, and that you have this work on Earth to help the people and the pets and the environment. Just partner with Spirit. Support, contribute to various things to make a change in your world, not just sit in your room, but go out there and spend some money on important things like the environment and the whales. Just do what you can, what you're guided to do by this core being. I would like the people to pay attention to the facts when making decisions, seek factual information, and act on it. So you could love truth every day. Think, I want to practice the truth, know the truth, love the truth, stand for the truth, help people to see the truth. I want to see the truth better. I want to appreciate the truth. And then Ramakrishna would say, so when you say you'll be there at 9, be there at 9. That's practicing truth. When you say you're going to do this or that, don't say, oh, sorry, I forgot. Do it. Just practice the truth. Practice it, love it. Use your mouth to speak the truth, not to prevaricate. Love truth. You could also make affirmations of truth. What you know about truth, what you find out about truth, speak it. Speak it regarding other people. Visualize your ideal. Picture what your ideal would be like. And when you see people who are doing truth and practicing truth, give them support, give them love, give them kindness, give them, back them up. I want to learn to enjoy exercise. I have a crazy suggestion. Don't do any exercise. Let your soul do the exercise. It's your ego that does it. It's your ego that's not enjoying it, your false self, and it's your ego that doesn't want to do it. It's your ego that's avoiding it. That's all an ego job. Your sense of I, who you think you are and feel you are. That's what's saying, not me. No, not today. Just sense there is a core being, life is expressing through me. What would this life within me like to do to maintain health, to maintain well-being? And you'll have more darn fun exercising. If you get the right person out there exercising, let your inner self express the exercise, not the ego that says, I hate exercise. And you'll begin to feel really good as you do it. You'll begin to enjoy it. You begin to look forward to it. All your crazy ideas about exercise will go away. You just find, oh, this is wonderful. Dealing with my temper, overcoming my temper. Is it turmeric or turmeric? What? How do you say it?
Turmeric.
Turmeric. There's no turmeric. It's a silent R. It has an R there, but it's silent. Turmeric?
It's usually pronounced turmeric.
Okay. Is very good for getting rid of all kinds of anger that's built up in your system. Find a way that you can put a half tablespoon in a drink and do it every day. You'll find you just have less anger as you walk around the planet. It's called the cocktail for anger. Sitting daily and having calm compassion for people is really good. You just make a point, because compassion wipes out anger, you see. So you just feel compassion for individuals that come to mind, or you just watch a newscast with compassion. Just practice calm compassion. And then another thing that works very well for yogis in India, but also over here, if you try it, you think of Buddha. Buddha practiced compassion, wonderful compassion. And if you have a statue of Buddha, I'm not saying you should get a statue of Buddha, but if you're angry, you might focus on Buddha's forehead and just look at that calm forehead and practice compassion every day. Your temper will go away. Your temper is from being really frustrated about life. Increased willpower. Just every day meditate in your third eye, and then do your exercises and tasks with centering in your forehead, and feel you're bringing life and energy and consciousness through your being from the back, from the medulla. You're centered here, you're willing from here, but energy and life are coming through here, filling your body, and you're expressing that life with the coordination of the third eye and the medulla. And you'll have increased willpower within a month, maybe sooner. And it's great. I used to, when I was a kid, a high school kid, I heard about this. And so I put is it a daub or a gob? A daub, I think, of luminous paint all over my room. When I lay in bed at night, there's a dot there. When I sat up, there was a dot there. When I'm at my desk, there's a dot there. I had about 8 dots. Now and then you have to shine a light on them to get them glowing brighter, Okay, so I just spent my life, whenever I was just doing homework or going to sleep, whatever, or waking up. So I had the most penetrating eyes you've ever seen. And so teachers are used to looking at you like, they would waver and kind of wilt. Teachers did it to me, I did it right back, and they and my mom said, she was always a blessing in my life. Very irritating the way you're looking. Very irritating. Don't do that anymore. People think you're strange. But it worked very well. But I just so I felt my eyes could kind of like bore through a wall. It was fun. You got to try. I need to forgive. I need to forgive old hurts and grow past them. Well, this ascend into being, descend from being, you just again and again do this cycle. Ascend, being, descend from this clear place, and live as a result of ascending, pausing in being, descending. There's also a rice ceremony. You get a bowl of rice. And regarding all your old hurts, each one, you take an old hurt and you grab this rice. It really hurt me when blah, blah, blah. I learned that blah, blah, blah. And now to this person who hurt me, or persons, I have learned a lesson here. I've got value from this. I now let you go, and I wish you the best of life, or I wish you well, and I let go. Do the rice ceremony on every old hurt that comes to mind. Think of what value you got from it, and let go. Because the more you can let it go, the happier you're going to be, because you're just carrying around toxins. So rice ceremony, and ascend, be, and descend. Oh boy. The political, national landscape of this country wanted to be positive, tolerant. Okay, so then we got to do this thing I'm going to show you. Okay, and the pink cloud would be good too. Improve my attunement with spirit, soul, and God. Practice being, practice as a result of being. Just let being unfold into consciousness and joy. That'll help you a lot through these times. I guess I better quit. What I'd like to see transformed. I want to transform the choices I make that keep me from growing. Go to your body. What do I do that allows me to grow? How do I let go what's keeping me from growing? And what is keeping me from growing? Perfect question for going to your buddhi. You'll see it very clearly. You'll let go. Incorporation of healthy habits in exercise, diet. Start each day, like maybe you do some postures and you meditate. Then, before you charge out there, think, what am I going to do for my body today? What am I going to do for my mind today? What am I going to do for my emotions today? What am I going to do for my spirit today? Just think it for just a minute or two, and live that day based on that insight you began with. Okay, sorry, got quit. When you get good at being, it really helps you. I want to just tell you about something because you got to be in the booty first. But there's a marvelous thing that happens as a result of developing the goodwill witness. One day in this, you feel like you're at one with everybody else. You feel like your consciousness is inside all the people. You're at one with people. At one with people in a distant place, at one with the people in your house, the people that you don't understand that well at times. And it's called Mahat, the great soul. It's a result of goodwill witnessing. You discover a place in your consciousness within this sense of being where you feel like you're part of everyone and everyone's part of you. It's a high experience called Mahat, M-A-H-A-T, the great soul. And when you're in Mahat, you have the experience of, I'm working through all hands, walking through all feet, loving with all hearts. This marvelous sense of being at one with every human being. And it's there for all of us to experience, and it's just wondrous. And when you feel that, then of course, when you feel at one with others, it's so much easier to understand what's bugging them, what's their problem, and what to pray, what to do to help them, because you feel at one with them. So I wish you the experience of Mahat. You can't get there directly. Maybe you can, I don't know how, but you can get there by goodwill witness. One day develops, I'll tell you what happens. You're meditating and you feel like you're inside another person, like you're looking at the world through the face and eyes of another person. And then this happens from time to time. I'm looking at the world through somebody else's face. Like Yogananda said once, he said, tell me, which body am I in? He felt like he was in both bodies, and he wanted to know which one he was in. You get these kinds of spiritual experiences. That's in store, and it is such a wondrous, holy, happy thing. You just feel so blessed to have an experience of being suddenly aware within other people as well as yourself. So tonight we focused on what you can do yogically to help other people and help transform many lives. And look, you're going to live, you're going to have all these days. And after you meditate, what we do is, most of us, after we meditate, we practice transformation, strive to help humanity and help in troubled situations. And so, to that end, a number of us will be at noon, every noon, for 5 minutes, focused on thoughts of transformation. You're welcome to join in, wherever you are. Park your car. Don't do it while driving. If you want to, it will bless your life a lot. Just 5 minutes, think of others, do some of these beautiful practices. And also, notice what's going on. You'll often find tremendous satisfaction when you see this or that change, or something that's going on that's really horrible on TV, and you see something come of it. Very often something good happens. Very often they catch the culprit. Very often some kind of wisdom comes out of all that chaos. So I leave you to your life. Can you help the world out? Please do. I would say sleep well, but I don't mean right away. Next week? Okay.